Today I'm going to talk about the menstrual cycle and some of the things that go on around the menstrual cycle and some of the new terms that they are using in medicine that refer to like almost an exaggerated experience with your menstrual cycle and PMS. So when you think about all that PMS and everything that's going on, now I've talked about this in other videos previously, but I just want to go over, how you can determine what you're experiencing. And women mostly experience these exaggerated types of issues around their cycle. Now, some women do not have a regular cycle, so therefore they may not have a regular period. And then you might see somebody who has an exaggerated amount of bleeding, and that was in my case the same thing. I was never put on any hormones, and that's normally what they treat people with. They automatically treat in the medical community. You're treated for maybe anxiety and depression, mood changes. You might be having the bloating that comes along with your menstrual cycle and some other achiness and discomfort. You want to think about why you're having these headaches and why these things are occurring. So to really hone in on all these different factors that come into play, you want to think about how these foods we're eating really affects our moods. And then you want to think about how the salt and the sugar work together, or why you're craving that salt and sugar. And a lot of people really get this confused with some mental health issues. And then these young girls are maybe placed on not only hormones for their, to help improve their function with their bleeding times or, with their cycle, but also they're placed on antidepressants. And they might be having issues with their stomach and they're not feeling well. So they're on antiemetics and they're on other different medications that are all related to these imbalances in hormones, because that can affect how you feel with your eating, how you feel with how you look at yourself. So that dysmorphia is about body image, and also how you're feeling in general. Your heightened excitability, or maybe you're very low and depressed. And these things can come back and forth depending on what's going on in your life. And in any scenario, when you introduce a ton of carbohydrates or a lot of sugars, a lot of breads and cereals, and all those types of foods, those can play with your hormones to an extreme. And alcohol has a whole new dimension. So PMS on steroids is like, if you're drinking alcohol, it's going to exaggerate everything. Now, you take a woman that's had these exaggerated cycles for years, and then they have a child. And those hormones are carried over into that child. So those hormones at the start of their life cycle, they are dealing with their own cycle. And you have to understand how to introduce foods that are beneficial for those hormones to be more stable. And then get these babies and these children on sleep cycles with the parents, because the parents have to participate. And I know that you think that, this adulting stuff, it's overrated, blah, 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 blah. Oh, we did this when we were kids and we did this. Guess what we learned? We learned that everybody is like they're opening themselves up and getting cut parts and pieces all over the place. There's missing pieces. You're starting surgery really early. You're getting sick earlier. Your kids are constantly having all kinds of digestive issues. And then it turns into something else, a huge mental health scenario. And then you're looking at severe depression. And then those can get really tricky, where that severe depression turns into suicidal thoughts. Now, is it normal to have some of these things? There can be some baseline minimalizing of these, trying to figure out life and how to deal with it and what's going on around you. But when it comes to what you are nourishing your body with, that is the most important factor. Keeping yourself, raising your hands to say, I am going to be purposeful with my life, I matter, and my health matters. And I love myself enough to take care of myself. These are things that you really need to evaluate in your life. And how can you manage letting go of something that has been a part of your life, like alcohol or that bread? You know, is it going to be, what's it going to take? Maybe they're going to find cancer. Maybe they're going to find something else. They've got nodules. You've got something going on in your head. All kinds of things can occur. Or maybe you've got fibroids. Maybe you've got some really distressful things going on around your cycle. And you're feeling these weird ways with your body and you don't understand it. So this syndrome, PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric disorder, I believe that it should be called perimenstrual dysphoric disorder, because there's a lot of excitement around that time. Your body is preparing. It's been preparing to give birth in a woman, okay? So you're going through these cyclical changes to prepare yourself for this. Then once you start having these children, your body still goes through these cycles. Then there's women that end up having their everything taken out with a hysterectomy. You go into premenstrual, you're going into menopause, okay? It's surgical menopause. So you want to think about what you're going to support your body with, your life, if your children are experiencing these extremes with either their blood sugars or with mental health issues. Don't blame yourself. Find a way to gather the information that you need to be well and then to be able to feed your family well. As a parent or grandparent, you're the one that needs to take the step. What's going to take for you to raise your hands for wellness? Diane Greco-Allen, food relationship coach. Remember that PMDD, men can experience it to some degree from the cycles their body's going through from early on. If it's exaggerated, then maybe there's some estrogens they're introducing and it's shifting some of those hormones in your body. If you want to learn more, please contact me, reach out, subscribe to my channel. Please look me up and get my book, It Might Be Your Pancreas. Natural digestive ways to heal our gut and also to recognize pancreatitis and find out what that means. Have a great day.